what happened with that?
Well, the ceiling was destroyed downstairs in the apartment that I just got through renovating.
Yeah,
Yes.
and there are how many apartments?
2.
Okay, and so it ruined the ceiling of the downstairs
apartment.
Okay.
And I called. I said, you know, you need to reimburse me for it. He never returned my call, and I just let it slide because he's been a long-time tenant. He's been okay.
And is that part of your lawsuit or no?
No, it's not actually.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
3 weeks later, it happens again. I called him. I said, what's going on? He doesn't return my call. Both times I had to repair it, and I had enough. So I sent him a 30-day notice of raising the rent.
Okay.
He in turn sends me a notice saying that he's going to leave.
Okay.
He doesn't pay the last month's rent.
Which is what month?
For the month of June.
And June is $400.
Yes.
Okay.
And I took him to eviction court, won that case.
All right. And you have a judgment against him for that $400?
Yes.
Okay. So you won in eviction court. You won a money judgment in that courtroom.
Yes.
All right. So what you have in front of me is, Judge, he damaged the place. So tell me about the damage.
Okay. There was the kitchen wall and floor had to be replaced. I have photographs.
Let me see the photographs of what he did.
And these are also the bills of the costs that have been expended.
Who's the nice lady with you?
This is actually the former tenant that installed the new floors that were in the apartment before Mr. Daniels moved in.
The former tenant of that place?
Yes.
Oh, come on over here where the microphone is. Okay. And what's your relationship to him? Just you're his former tenant?
Yes, and fiance.
Oh. I was feeling bad for even asking it, and because she stood so close to him that's why I wondered. All right, so yeah, all right. So you used to live in that place. When did he move in? When did you move out?
I moved out in 2005.
Okay. So now, what happened there?
That's
the stove. Yes, it burned. My girlfriend, she was warming up some water. We didn't have any heat. Right, cause the basement had flooded. She's warming up some water so we can wash
for a few
up.
Days?
Huh?
Like for a few days?
No, that was only one day.
For the burn to happen, she has to have walked away from it.
Yes, actually that's what happened.
Yeah, of course.
I was in the room watching TV. She stepped out to tell me something, and I seen like orange in the next room. I looked in, pot was on fire. I immediately grabbed some flour, threw it on the stove, and the fire went out. Only the top part of the stove. Yes, ma'am. Only the top part.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty much the stove is ruined,
terrible.
right?
I have to admit that was terrible.
When you replaced this stove for $400, like this isn't a $400 stove that got burned. It's an old ratty stove that got burned.
I have the
so it would be what you're entitled to. I don't care what you paid for a new, nice, shiny stove. I care what it is that got damaged. In other words, your measure of damages in a court of law are the value of the item at the time of the loss or the time of the bad act. So if this is a 10-year-old stove that you got in there, or 20-year-old stove, I don't know what it is. It looks pretty ancient. The knobs look pretty ancient. Then it's what would you have gotten before he burned it on the open market for it? That's what the measure of damage is. So what's this a picture of?
That's behind the wall of the stove.
Right. That's behind the stove?
That was behind the stove. That's, there's years of grease buildup on that.
Well, why does he have to pay to clean that? I mean, it's years of grease buildup, right? From cooking in the normal way.
Caked on like quarter-inch thick.
I know, but what's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to pull out all the appliances and clean behind them? That's not broom swept return. There's a certain amount that a landlord has to do when a landlord, when you're switching clients after this is gross, when you're switching tenants after all that time. It is kind of gross, but none of this was visible. This is actually, you have to move the stove to see it, right?
Not exactly.
All right, so what is this a picture of?
That's the floor where the refrigerator was.
Oh.
That's the brand new floor.
Okay, but that's you moving the refrigerator, and then you see that underneath the refrigerator has leaked or something?
It's all filth.
Why would it be the tenant's responsibility to move refrigerators and clean under them in order for, clearly that's the reason you had to replace that chunk of the floor is because it was rotted, and it wasn't rotted from dirt, it was rotted from water. So tell me how that would be on him. Tell me how that would be on him at all.
Well, those holes were not in that floor. She put that floor in there brand new when she
I don't doubt that to be true, but what did he do to ruin the floors? That you're talking about the floors underneath the refrigerator. What did he do to ruin the floors?
I don't know what he did.
What could any tenant conceivably do to ruin the floors under the refrigerator?
It wasn't underneath, it was by the refrigerator. And it was also in the middle of the floor. There's 2 separate holes in there, in those photographs, Your Honor. Because the other part of my case is the floor replacement portion of it. That was just the wall. That's just the wall repair.
Were these holes underneath the refrigerator?
No, the refrigerator was in the corner.
What happened to the floors?
And ruined his apartment, but there are problems with this case. The stove he ruined is 10 years old, and it's weird how he could have ruined the floor. Let's listen.
Your Honor, when I first moved in the apartment,
I'm sorry.
and I moved the refrigerator in.
You bought your own refrigerator?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you took the refrigerator with you when you moved out?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, go on.
Yes. When they moved it in, and they put it on the floor was already damaged over there. The weight of the refrigerator just made the floor go in.
Do you have a picture of the way the apartment was handed to him?
No.
Do you have pictures of the way you accepted the apartment?
I don't have pictures. Yes, I do.
And according to you, when you moved in and you put your refrigerator in here, these holes were there?
No, that one hole was not there.
Which one hole wasn't?
That if you look on the edge,
bottom one or the top one?
Okay. No, I'm saying on the top picture.
Yep.
Where you see the square part where the refrigerator was laying on.
Yep.
On the edge.
Yep.
At the corner, that's where the hole came from the refrigerator. The hole did come from the refrigerator on that floor, but there was more holes on the floor before I even got there.
Okay. What is this? Don't you ever do any repairs there? This is disgusting.
Which is what?
These are the windows by the bathroom, and there's leaks coming from the shower. Did you ever tell your landlord, listen, there's
Yes,
problems?
I did. Many times. I asked him if I could.
This is disgusting.
I asked him if I could paint when I first got to the house. I asked him if I could put down linoleum when I first got to the house. There's a lot of things I want to do to the house. I want to have a nice house. But it seemed like what he told me was not to do no repairs in the house, don't touch anything. Your Honor, what I believe this case is about is he's just trying to get his apartment fixed on my dime. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Is this a bathroom?
Can I see that, please, ma'am? Oh, yeah. This is the bedroom ceiling. Every time it rained, I would get showers.
Why would you live like that? I mean, I realize you're paying $400, but why would you live? Where are you guys from, Buffalo?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would you tolerate that? Why would you continue to live like that? Why wouldn't you complain? Why wouldn't you ask him to fix it?
Well, when I did ask him to fix it.
Did he ask you to fix his stuff and you wouldn't fix it?
Yes, Your
Did you ever
Honor.
look at your own apartment to see the condition that it was in? It's a disaster. And the weird part is you're not asking for reimbursement for that, saying he damaged it. You know that he didn't damage it, that he's just living like this. All right, tell me what, we've talked about the kitchen wall. We've talked about, after a guy's lived there for 8 years, you want to paint the apartment for $786 and you want him to pay for it. Okay, broken windows. We have not talked about that.
Yep. Didn't know about it, and I replaced them.
Did you break windows?
Did know about it, never replaced them while I was there. That's the only window that was broke was the kitchen window when I moved
Did you
in.
actually live here?
I actually lived there, yes, ma'am. I mean, I'm tripping.
How could you live in Buffalo with a broken window?
Well,
it gets kind of chilly.
Yeah. Well, when I first moved in that kitchen, the window was broken, it was cracked, and it had a piece of tape on it to hold the windows together. That hold that window together in the kitchen.
Come on up. Is that accurate?
No.
It's accurate.
There was no tape holding the window
No.
together? How did this window break?
I don't
Anybody
know.
How did the window break? Do you
The
know?
window that the tape that was holding on the window,
Yeah.
when you open the window, sometimes when it's summertime, it gets hot in Buffalo.
Yeah.
When I open the window and stuff like that, the window, it fell off the tape. If you see, it was like a perfect, if you look at, those are his pictures. He would just come and get money for rent.
Would he actually physically come to the apartment to get money?
Well, actually, no. I would take the money over to my next door neighbor most of the time.
And your next door neighbor's his fiance?
Yeah.
Come on up. Why do you keep sitting down?
Because I won't be here.
Yeah, you don't want to be here?
You know what? Can I say this? I
Yeah.
love this lady.
I know.
Miss Jones, she's like my sister.
Because you were friends before this?
Oh yeah, I've been knowing. I work with Mr. Jones. I love her. I have no problem with her. It's all him.
You couldn't stop him from suing him? Did you try?
He's that type of dude. He's that type of guy.
How long you two been together?
15 years.
15 years?
Aren't you doing the ceremony today?
You what?
I thought you were getting us.
You thought I was going to marry you
Yes.
two today?
I would never call her a liar, because I don't think she lied, but she's in a situation.
Now she's
where-
not innocent. You know what?
Let me say, she's
Let
not
me tell you
down,
something.
right?
No, you may not. Her back is strong and her shoulders are broad, and when I ask her a question and she's under oath, she is not going to...
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, does a landlord have to tolerate a certain amount of damage when a tenant lives there because nobody's perfect, or can he dock the tenant for every little thing? What do you think?
I think he can sue for some of the damages just because he does provide deposit when they do.
He does, okay, but does the landlord have to tolerate a little damage?
Some, but not all, but I think some of them.
Anybody think the landlord has to give the landlord can sue you for everything you do, a nick, anything, hole in the wall?
No.
So he has to tolerate a little.
Yeah, a little bit, because, everyone does do some damage to everything.
Spoken like a real tenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Going inside the courtroom.
Here's what we are going to do, folks. It is not your day. I got to tell you, it is not looking like your day, Mr. Hoffman. So when I look at a lot of your complaints, I have to tell you that many of them are what we call in the landlord-tenant business in court, normal wear and tear. Let me give you an example. After somebody's been living there 8 years, you're probably going to have to paint the joint. The kitchen floor, I got a little bit of question about, because I think that you admit that replacing the stove, yes, he's going to replace the stove, but what he's going to pay is the value of the stove that got burned. And the broken windows, boy, that one's anybody's guess. But I've got her, she's a good friend of yours.
She's a good friend of mine,
Right.
but...
Would she lie? She a liar?
Well, no, I would never call her a liar.
I got a plan. Do not sit down. Go ahead.
Okay. I would never call her a liar, because I don't think she lied, but she's in a situation...
Now she's not innocent. You know what?
Let me say, she's
Let me tell you something.
down, right?
No, you may not. Her back is strong and her shoulders are broad, and when I ask her a question and she's under oath, she is not going to lie
She's not a
in order
liar.
to help him.
She's not a
In fact,
liar.
she's mad at him for even suing you. She already said that.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, were the windows broken when you handed him the appointment?
they were not.
All right, that's the simple thing, okay? Nope, we're done.
Okay.
You kept the $200 security deposit, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Here is my ruling. I don't see how you could continue to live in a place that had all those problems with it and tolerate that the landlord not fix it. I think that when you take that into account, and when I look at the things that I do think that he's responsible for, I think he's clearly responsible for the windows based on her testimony. I think he's clearly responsible for the stove. I think he is definitely responsible for at least one of the holes on the floor. All in all, I find that he owes you $310, of which $200 you have already kept in this form of the security deposit. Oh, and also how filthy you handed it back. I'm ordering you to pay $110 on his claim against you, on your counterclaim against him. You don't get lost pay because he had some valid issues. I just don't think they're $2,200 worth of valid issues. And so the net judgment is a verdict in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $110. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, after all that, the plaintiff gets $110. Here, step next to me. You get a last word on this. What else is there to say?
Well, I'm glad the way it came out, but some of the things that he said, I mean, I can't believe that he just straight out lied about certain things in the apartment, like the walls and the kitchen floor.
Why would he do that? Well,
he's trying to get money from me.
She's such a good friend of yours, and he's
Yeah, but
he's not, huh?
she loves him, and she got to stick by her man. And I understand that, and I never would say anything to her because I never want to be in the middle of her relationship running back and forth between her, because she would have made him do the right thing.
Yeah, you and him are cats and dogs.
I'm really shocked with him, too, because he used to be a friend, but I couldn't trust him anymore.
So you're living in a better place now?
Much better.
Good. Okay, head right around the corner this way. Thank you. All right, sir, so step on in here. Right over here. What do you think of this outcome here now?
Well, there was a lot more damage than than it was actually on here. The downstairs apartment was ruined. I never put that into the case, and it is what it is.
Yeah, she's hiding. You're hiding back there. Why are you hiding back there?
I watch the show all the time, so.
Do you really wanted the judge to marry you here today?
Of course.
Right now? You ready after all these?
ready.
How many years you two been together?
15.
15. You're ready now
I'm
today?
ready right now.
She's ready right now. That's pretty interesting.
I said yes.
I say yes, too.
I say yes to the dress.
All right, interesting. See what happens, Officer McIntosh.
All right.
See what you can do. Harvey?
Yes, sir. Okay. I don't care whether you're a landlord or a tenant. Both should take pictures before and after the tenant moves in. That is the only way to really protect yourself. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.